The whole downgrading by the S&P, I have my own thoughts on it, but where are your thoughts on this? And the president's going to be speaking any minute on this, as well as the loss of U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Where are you on this?
Well, I think it's totally political. You know, Reverend Al, I see politics. I'm like a detective. I don't just look at the surface. In fact, we don't just look at the surface. We always sniff out politics behind everything. S&P is political. Moody's and Fitch, the other two rating services, they still give the U.S. the AAA rating. They're still very creditworthy. In fact, the most creditworthy on the planet. Now, why S&P? S&P, when you look at their history, very suspect. This is the same rating agency that didn't seem to have a problem a few years ago with the banks, Wall Street, when they were doing all the manipulations with the derivatives in the housing market, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, when they didn't seem to have any problem lower rating them. They gave them a AAA every step of the way, even though they were collapsing all over the place. Now, why all of a sudden, when the debt ceiling issue has been resolved, you have a committee in place, it appears that the cuts that they required, they, of course, on the other side of the political spectrum, are going to get, and essentially no one has implied that the U.S. is going to default on anything. It's never done that, and the fact is it never will. And then, Reverend Al, one other little thing, too, that people seem to forget. They keep talking about debt, how we just have this mountain of debt. Some of the economists that have looked at it a little closer said even that is not what it's cracked up to be. The overall debt, service on the debt, and the debt is about 1.6% of the overall gross domestic product. Now, that doesn't sound like to me in a big economy, a fulsome economy, and still basically a solid economy like the U.S. overall, that's such a crushing debt thing that the whole system is going to collapse like a house of cards. It's political.